Hey everybody, this is your faster way to fat loss, MyFitnessPal tutorial. I'm going to attempt to share my phone screen with you here in just a little bit on the video so that you can see exactly how to set up the mobile version of MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is the tracking device that we will use, or tracking app, I should say, that we will use to track your macronutrients. So, I want you to spend this week getting familiar with the app, and I want you to start practicing logging your food. Remember, progress over perfection. You're not going to be 100% proficient in this. Just not going to happen in 1 week. So it's okay. Give yourself some grace, okay? And just focus on the fact that you are tracking your food and you are trying to do better. And we're going to focus on the positive and on the wins, not on the negative, okay? So with macro tracking, you're going to become so much more aware of the foods that you're eating and how to fuel your body properly. So here are some step-by-step instructions for setting up your MyFitnessPal account for food logging and macro tracking. First, I want you to download the app to the MyFitnessPal app. You may choose to pay for the premium version, but the free version works just as well. I do not use the premium version. I use the free version, and I've had no issues. So do this on your phone or your desktop, either one. So if you do it on your phone, you'll go to your app store for whichever type of phone that you have and download it there. Or if you do it on your desk, you'll go to www.myfitnesspal.com. You're going to want to set up your goals, and we'll go over that in just a minute. I'm going to try to share my phone screen with you. Let's see how that works. Just 1 second. So let me get to MyFitnessPal on my phone. I'm going to flip back and forth on here just a little bit. So just kind of bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to minimize everything else in the background so that it's not distracting. So this is exactly what MyFitnessPal looks like on my phone. So I'm going to see if I can get rid of that. Okay, all right, so this is what MyFitnessPal looks like on my phone. So you're going to see here, this is today. It tells you which day it is each day. Tells me how many calories, my goal, how much I've had in food today. And we will not be tracking exercise in MyFitnessPal. I'll talk about that in just a minute, about how to turn that off. And then this is the remaining number of calories I have today. We're not really going to focus on calories in the faster way to fat loss, except for on low carb day. But we'll talk about that a little bit next week. So just kind of ignore that right now. So you'll see here, this is in the diary portion of the app. This is where you're going to live most of the time. You can see down here, you can toggle between different screens. So this is the most common place that you're going to be. So you can see what I have had today. I did not have breakfast, of course. But sometimes I might drink a supplement or something like that. So anything that's under 45 calories that I had whenever I'm during my fasting period, I will typically put it there, or sometimes I'll put it in my lunch. Just as long as you track it, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to scroll up. You see all of my food that I've had here. You see that we have lunch here and then dinner. So you can see basically what I've eaten today. I did have to break over and have a power bowl at Taco Bell because it's just been such a busy day. I've been trying to work on things. So I keep wanting to scroll down on my computer because I forget them on my phone. And then snacks. So, and exercise. We do not add exercise once again. You can track your water here if you want to, but you absolutely do not have to. The complete diary button here, not necessary to do unless you just want to for tracking purposes, and if you're just the type of person that has to complete things. So that's perfectly fine too. So here's your nutrition button. We're going to live there a lot. So this is where I want you to click on your nutrition button. And we're just going to glance at it for just a minute. And basically you can see it's got proteins, carbs, and fats here. So first, I want to go to your settings. I'm going to X out of that. So we're going to go to more. The first thing that we want to do is we want to set our goals, okay? So you can see what my starting weight was back in April, and then you can see where it's got my current weight, which is actually not correct, but we will not be changing that because we don't want to change our macro goals. You do not want to do that unless you talk to me first. There's certain things that have to be in place before we change our macro goals. So just what you'll do, this will be your starting weight for the program, and you will not change that. So weekly goal, you want to have your weekly goal set at 0.5 to 1 pound per week. You do not want to go do not want to go above that unless you've got 60 pounds or more to lose. Your activity level, you want to set that according to your true activity level. So I am active. I exercise at least 4 to 5 days a week, and I'm up on my feet a lot at work. So if you're someone who maybe exercises 2 to 3 days a week, but then you've got a desk job, you might want to put lightly active. And then if you're hungry, then we may adjust that setting at some other point in time. So you'll see where it says nutritional goals here. We want to go there, and we want to set up our nutritional goals. Again, I keep wanting to click on the computer screen. So you'll see I have my goal set as 45% carbohydrates, 25% protein, and 30% fats. So once again, that's 45% carbohydrates, 25% proteins, and 30% fats. So that's where you set your goals up, and that's exactly what I want you to set your goals for your faster way to fat loss, okay? So next we're going to click back here, and we're going to go to, okay, we're going to go back. I'm going to click this back button here. So anytime you want to go back in the app, that's where you click. And then we're going to go to apps and devices right here. So click on apps and devices. We want to make sure, see, it says connected, and I really should not have anything connected. Okay, that's my Garmin Connect. That's my old watch, and I can't get it to go away. So you want to make sure that you do not have any devices connected here, because we do not want it counting your exercise, because that will throw your macro goals off, okay? So make sure everything's disconnected. So you're going to go back here again to all. Actually, I'm sorry, you're going to go back here, back button. And then you're going to go to where it says steps right here and click on steps. And I want you to make sure that you click do not track steps. We don't want it tracking your steps, because again, that will throw off your macro goals, okay? So we're going to go here. Okay, now that's pretty much it for as far as your settings and setting things up. So each day, what I'm going to want you to do, I just went back to the diary portion to get to where I can track my food and see what I have eaten. So to track a food, what you want to do is you want to go to the meal. So let's say I wanted to add something to my dinner tonight. I'm going to go to dinner, and I'm going to click on add food on my phone. So I would click add food, and let's say I want to add in a rice cake. So I would click on the rice cake. Or if it wasn't something that I've used recently, this is just your most recent here. That's what's showing. That's kind of like a little memory thing, which is pretty nice most of the time, because you'll learn in this program you're going to eat a lot of the same foods, and I like that actually. But if your food's not there, what you do is you would go up here to this part, and you would type in, let's say I'm going to type in a apple. Type that in on your phone, and then click the search button here, and you will find your phone, and you will select as close as you can to what you've got. Don't get tore up because it's a large apple and you can only see medium apple, or it's a medium apple and you only see large apple. Just adjust your maybe your servings. Maybe if it's a large apple and you only says medium, maybe do 1.25 or something like that, not 11.25, but 1.25, just to make it for it. You don't have to be that particular, just to be perfectly honest, to see these results. It's not always going to be that big of a deal. So you're going to go back. I'm not going to add that because I didn't eat it. But normally you would add that, and it would show up down here where you ate. So it would show up right around in here on dinner. Okay. So that's how you do that. You can add recipes if you want. You'll go down here to the More button, and I'll show you a little bit about that here in just a few minutes. But that's basically, that's how you track food. You can also go to the plus button down here and click on it, and you can quickly, get what you need from here. So you can put your weight in there or whatever, and your weight, again, like I said, is going to be your starting weight in the program. So you can do your water, your food, or whatever. I find it easier just to go to the meal for the day, because then you don't have to select, it's a step that you don't have to go through. So I like that. So as far as what to post each day, I'm scrolling up and down in this screen here. You can see at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see this nutrition button. You're going to click on nutrition, and you're going to want to stay here. Do not go to this screen. It will do nothing but confuse you. Just stay off of it. So I'm going to show you this. Just ignore it completely, okay? If you were to get here and get confused, this is your percentage. It's always going to equal 100 no matter what you've eaten. So it's not really a good true thing, a thing for you to look at. These are the grams in what you've eaten. So that there's no need to even go to the screen. So stay in the nutrient screen here. And this tells you your total that you've had for the day, your goal for the day, and how much you have left each day. So this is what it looked like for me today. I really slacked on my protein today. I don't think I did, actually. Must have forgot to put something in. That's easy to do sometimes. So I'll have to maybe throw me a protein drink in there if that's something. And, you'll find that usually I pre-plan, but I have been doing a lot of content creation today and working. So normally that does not happen to me. So, but you can see everything else. I pretty much hit the nail right on the head, but I may have to go back and fix that. So anyway, this is what you're going to take a screenshot of each day, and you're going to post this in the comments of that macro thread for that day. So if this is today, and we'll say it's a Sunday, then you will go find Sunday's post and go to the comments and click upload picture, however you upload a picture on your Facebook app, and then you will upload that screenshot into those comments. So I'm going to stop sharing my phone now because I think I went over everything. Let me look at my notes for just a second just to make sure that I've got everything here. So you all have downloaded the MyFitnessPal. We've set up your goals. Make sure that you add your height and your weight in the settings. And like I said, adding your weight is just a baseline to set up your macronutrient goals. We do not use the scale as a measure of the progress in the faster way. Remember that. And we will not be adjusting your weight, okay? On activity levels, let me go over that one more time. Set your activity level to active or lightly active. That would be the most common thing that we would select for those who are doing the faster way to fat loss. If you've not been working out prior to the faster way, set your goals to lightly active. If you are planning to focus solely on nutrition strategies and do not plan to exercise, set your goals as lightly active again, okay? If you have been working out prior to the faster way and you plan to do the faster way workouts, set your goals as active. Set your goal to lose, like I said, at 0.5 pounds per week or 1 pound per week. If you have more body fat to lose, you may choose to set your goal to 1 pound per week, but I do suggest, if you're fairly fit, you should choose to set your goal to lose at 0.5 pounds per week. It's almost always better to err on the side of less weight loss per week as far, in contrast to setting it too drastic of a calorie deficit, because that can be detrimental to your hormones and your metabolism. So we don't want to do that. And as you exercise, if you choose to participate in the exercises in the program, then you're going to be developing lean muscle pretty quickly, and you're going to start getting hungry if you don't eat enough food. So depending on your experience with dieting and restrictive meal plans, the goals set by MyFitnessPal may seem like a lot of food to consume each day, but we encourage you to focus on eating until you're 80% full, and then as soon as you start to feel hungry again, go ahead and eat. So on a side note, if you have 70 pounds to lose, go ahead and set your goals at 1.5 to 2 pounds per week, okay? If you're looking to gain weight, set your goals to gain 1 pound per week. And then if you're looking to maintain your weight while supporting body composition improvements, so you don't want to lose weight, you like the size that you are, but you want to develop lean muscle and you just want to change your body composition, you're going to select to maintain your weight. Let's see here. If you're pregnant, set your goals to maintain or gain 1 pound per week, okay? Head over to the goal section of the app, and if you ignore that part. I have some notes wrote down, and that was one thing that I've already went over, was adjusting your macro percentages. So we've already done that part. Like I said, do not log your exercise. So this week, we want to make sure that you start logging your food and paying attention to those macro counts like I showed you. And then one thing I do want to show you, I am going to go back to share my screen because I want to show you how to scan a barcode and how to create your own recipes. I did not do that because that's something that's pretty cool. And you can actually even import recipes. I've not done that myself. So let me go back to that here. I want to share my phone screen again. Take it just a second. Okay, there's my phone screen again. So I'm going to go out of this. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to go down here to more. And I'm going to go to meals, foods, and recipes. Then you can see I've got several meals and recipes that I've put in here. So there's recipes, meals, and foods. So if you want to do a recipe, what you do is you create a recipe, and you can either click add from the web, or you can enter your ingredients manually. So normally, most of the time, you have to end up putting those in manually. So you'll have to put the recipe name, the serving sizes, bulk ingredients, or whatever. And what you can do is you can just go down here and start adding in your ingredients. So you can just do rice, chicken, and then let's say broccoli, whatever. You can keep on just going on. And if you can spell good, if you can spell things correctly, that's a bonus. So I'm evidently struggling with that tonight. So broccoli, spell check really has messed me up. So whatever, you can just go there, and then you'll hit the arrow button here to go on. And then what it will do is it will ask you for more details about these foods. So it's really handy. I've typed in as many as like 10 to 12 ingredients before and went on, and then you just go in there and you select to make sure you've got the right food that you've got. Then that's when you'll put in the correct amount. So sometimes you'll have to go in there and do another search from that screen, but it's not hard. So you'll name the recipe, put how many servings and all that stuff in there. So I'm not going to go through actually creating a recipe with you. So okay, there we go. Shoot, I still keep trying to do it on my phone, on my computer. So I'm going to go back here, get out, and then I'm going to go to scanning. So let's go back to our food diary, and you're going to go to, let's just say for breakfast, just for time's sake. So add food, and then right here you click scan, and it will scan a barcode for you. So I have a granola bar here, gluten-free granola bar, and then you would scan that and do the barcode, and it tells you right here what you've got. Just pay attention to the serving sizes, make sure that's correct. I do confirm the numbers in here because sometimes they are off. If they are off, then what you'll have to do is create a food, and I'll show you that here in just a second. If that's correct, then you'll click on the check mark there, and you'll see that it added this, and that pushed me over on my fat grams, so I'm going to remove that because I didn't really eat that much of it. So I'm going to delete that. That's how you delete. You slide it over like I did with my finger, and then you just click the delete button. So, okay. So if you want to add a food, you're going to go down here to more, and then you're going to go to food and recipes here. And this is if you can't find the food in the database. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to foods right here, and then you're going to click create a food, and you're going to put the name of the food, and you're just going to enter all of the information. It will ask you for all the macro counts and all of that stuff, and you'll put that information in. So that is it on that. And I'm going to stop sharing my phone again because I think I went over all of that. So just remember that MyFitnessPal goals are simply estimates for your calorie expenditure, and we use this app as a tool for tracking food and to provide a starting place basically for daily macronutrient targets. So as you progress through the faster way, you will become better informed about how best to fuel your body. Just because you set your goals to lose or gain a specific amount of weight per week does not guarantee that you will. The fast choice strategies are meant to help you change your body composition, not necessarily your overall weight. So remember that. Stay off of the scales. Remember, this is a fat loss program and not a weight loss program, okay? So again, stay off of the scales. Everybody's goals are going to be different. Do not compare yourself to others, so don't be worried about, don't be like sitting there, zooming in on everybody's screenshots and be like, hey, how come Sally gets 250 carbohydrates and I only get 180? Don't worry about that. Everybody has different goals, okay? And everybody has different circumstances. So you're going to want to make sure that you're planning around your macros. That is a key to success in this program. So adding food, logging, and tracking macronutrients to your routine can feel overwhelming in the beginning. So do your best to take macro tracking in strides and lean on your small community and coach for tips. So I'm here to give you tips, tricks, resources that will make it easier on you, okay? Break your daily macro totals into smaller checkpoints. That's one way to help you hit your macro goals. So if you're running out of macros before the end of the day and have or if you have an excess of 1 or 2 before bed, take your total number of macros for the whole day and divide that by how many meals you typically have, and maybe 3 or 4 during your feeding window. And then just realize that you will need that many grams of that macro per meal. So let's say that you get 200 grams of carbohydrates per day and you eat 4 meals per day, then you would know that you need to get 50 grams of carbs per meal. And that's one way to break it down and kind of make it a little less overwhelming and kind of help to hit those macro goals or to keep from going over, okay? So that smaller number of grams is a whole lot easier to focus on and see what they look like versus looking at the whole day at one time, okay? And planning is key. So when in doubt, grab for a meal, make sure that it contains a protein, a fat, and a carb, and a fiber, because that fiber helps you stay fuller. And then also on low carb days, you'll realize how much fiber is your friend. So it helps you to be able to eat a little bit more carbs. So we'll talk about that at a later date. So if you aim to create basic meals with protein, fats, and carbohydrates, like I said, and some source of fiber, you will likely stay fairly close to your macronutrient goals. So you'll just have to decide how many as far as your portions go. So as far as proteins, you'll have to decide, do you need 1 or 1.5 pieces of chicken? Do you need, or 4 ounces or 6 ounces, or however it is you choose to track those. I will post sometime this week a little cheat sheet about how to estimate or guesstimate your portions of items. So just look for that. It's a good idea to pre-log your food in your diary whenever possible. It helps you stay on track with your macro goals by pre-logging your food in your diary and eating a manipulatable macro meal around that. So like I said, you manipulate that by manipulating the servings or the portion size, okay? If you know, so let's say for an example, if you know that you want Chipotle for lunch or have a work dinner, put those into your MyFitness tool first and then fill in your macros around it. So another option is to sit with your food bank diary the night before and make a loose plan for your next day by logging as much as you can by visualizing the food that you have in your house or available to you during the day, so you kind of know what you have access to, you're going to be eating. But just play around with it. Remember, progress over perfection. Okay. So soon I will start asking to see your nutrients tab for MyFitnessPal. We already talked about what you need to do. I'll let you know when you need to post that. But I will want to see those so that I can see how close you're getting to your macro goals, because we want to make sure that you are eating enough food. And I will be giving you feedback and suggestions on ways to get closer to your goals and what adjustments you might need to make to be able to hit your macro goals or to help keep you from going over on your macro goals. So if you all have any questions, make sure that you post those in the comments of this video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You can also post the questions in our daily macro thread. So I will see you guys later, and thanks for hopping on. Have a good night.